Good morning. How is everybody? Great to see you all. Welcome, Lucy. Hello, Stephen. I've got your thumbnail. I have emailed you back. Hello, Ronan. Good to see you're okay. Carmela, sorry you're not feeling right. Hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit this morning. Who else have we got here today? I did see Cara or Isla. Hello. Good to see you. Brilliant to see you all. Let's have a quick check-in before we start. If you haven't joined us before, then we do a quick check-in on how we're feeling, because we always learn better if we're ready. And it's okay to feel sad, but it's good to say that you feel sad or anxious or you're happy, and then you can get on with your learning. So quick check-in with everybody, and then we do a little spelling quiz of 10 words, 5 words that we learnt the day before, and 5 mixed up with the words that we've already done. So that's how we do. So quick check-in. I'm feeling good this morning. I did wake up feeling a bit groggy, but I got up and I had a coffee and a banana, and then I did PE with Joe, and I'm feeling quite cheery now. So obviously a bit of exercise in the morning, even if I don't feel like it, can help me. Okay, so how are you all feeling? Some of you might be feeling a bit anxious. Sometimes in these days, because they're different, they make you feel scared or anxious or just a bit off sorts. Others of you might be quite enjoying it because the stress of school you might not be having. So let's just have a little go and see. Okay, right. So spelling test or our spelling quiz. 5 from yesterday and 5 shuffled up. So number 1. Okay, so number 1 is through. Through. I go through the door. Through. Number 2. Mother. So you can use this in the way of mother tongue. I speak a mother tongue, which is your first language, or mother as in mum. Mother. Remember, these are all tricky words. So that means that some of usually the beginning and the end you might be able to do, but the middles are often quite tricky and they don't follow the phonics that we learn. So just remember that while you're writing that. So number 2 is mother. Number 3, something that a lot of us aren't in at the moment, is school. School. Okay. Number 3 is school. So listen, remember, spelling is about hearing more than it is about seeing. Okay, if you learn things to see, then that is a lot harder than the hearing. Okay, our refuse collectors have just arrived, so there might be a bit of outside noise. So apologies about that. I'm afraid I can't tell Dorset Council to stop. So number 3 was school. Number 4 was could. I could go out and ask the refuse collectors to stop, but that would be a bit unfair, wouldn't it? So could. Number 4, could. Number 5, worse. So some of you might feel worse today than you did yesterday. Others of you might feel better. Worse. Morning, Florrie. Good to see you. I'm feeling good. How are you doing? You've just had an hour doing Lego. Amazing. Love a bit of Lego. What did you build? Number 6. We've just joined us, Florrie. We're on number 6. I'll go through the words for you in a minute. But number 6 is many. I have many ideas for spelling with Jules. Many. If you just joined us, apologies for the noise. The refuse collectors have just decided to join us this morning. Usually they come earlier. They've obviously had a lion. So number 7, you did 2 hours of homework, Ronan. Brilliant. Oh, you're all working really hard, aren't you? Your home learning. You hear that? Crushing of bottles. Above. I will speak above the noise of the refuse collectors. Number 7, above. Remember those words. Remember when we mark our spellings, we tick the letters that we get correct. So just think about all the, if you don't know how to spell it, just think about all the sounds that you can hear, if you can hear above the bins. Okay, number 8 is where. Where. Now, not where are your shoes? It's where. I am wearing a jumper, or I wear shoes to go to work. Where, that type of where. It sounds the same as where are you going, but it's spelt differently and it means a different thing. Number 9. Can we see number 9 there? Yeah. Number 9 is why. And interestingly, the letter we're doing today is Y, but this Y is like a question. So it's 3 letters, even though it sounds like the letter Y. So why are we going to town? Why? And the final one, very common word, used a lot, but doesn't sound at all phonic really, is the. The refuse collectors are outside. The. Okay, sorry about the noise this morning. They do usually come earlier, but I do need to get my rubbish away. I don't know about you, but we've created much more rubbish, recycling and landfill rubbish, because there's 6 of us living in the house. So that's quite a lot, isn't it? Okay, right. I'm going to go through these just for any that have arrived later so you can catch up. So number 1, through. I go through the door, through. Number 2, mother. I'm speaking my mother tongue, mother. Number 3, school. Number 3, school. I can't go to school at the moment because of COVID-19. Number 4, Ronan, number 10 was the. Number 4 is could. I could decide to go outside, but I'm not going to. Number 5, worse. Do you feel worse today than you did yesterday, or do you feel better? Number 6, many. There are many ways of spelling the letter Y, which we're doing today. Or sounds, at least. There's many sounds that the letter Y can make. That's okay, Ronan? I've forgotten what number we're on. I think it's number 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 7, above. We go above and beyond. So we don't go under, we go above. Number 8, wear. Where I wear a shirt today. I am wearing a shirt today, not the where are you going? Okay, so I wear shoes to work. Some of you wear a uniform to work or to school. You wear a uniform to school. Number 9, why. Why do you do spelling? Well, it's good to know how to spell the English language. Why? And the final one, number 10, was the. Okay, how do you think you did? Now, again, if you're new to this, I'm just going to explain how we mark our spellings, because there's nothing more depressing than crossing out the whole word when you've got lots of letters right, even if you haven't got the whole word right. So this is through. Now I spelled it, say, like this. Okay, now the real spelling, or the correct spelling, is like this. So here I can tick those 2 letters and that one, and I can tick G and H. Okay, so it's only this bit I didn't get right. So it's much better to tick the letters that you get right, because then you'll learn your spellings. Okay, if you just cross it out and feel depressed, that's not going to help anybody. Okay, so tick the letters that you get right. All right, and if you get the whole word right, you can still tick all the letters, or you can just cross it out. Okay, so that was through. So I'm going to write it on number 1. Remember, tick for success. So through, T-H-R-O-U-G-H. Okay, through. Whoa, let's get this wrong. There we go. Now, so you could get, but that bit there is quite tricky, and that's why it's a red word, and that's why we have to remember it. 9 out of 10, Stephen. Well done. Okay, number 2, mother. So it's M-O-T-H-E-R. So Okay, so that bit again is tricky because it should be really, if we were doing it phonically, it would be a U, wouldn't it? Okay, so tick the letters that you get right. Don't just cross out the whole word and get depressed. There's nothing worse than that. We're all about positive here. Number 3 is school. So SCHOOL. Okay, so we've got S, so you can hear S. So you should be able to get that one right. And then we've got this bit here, which is tricky, sk, because the k is there, but it's got an H, and usually that's a ch sound. So that's a tricky bit. And then all. Okay, so the tricky bit really is this, school. Number 4, could. COULD. Okay, and you've got k, and then d. So you should be able to get the beginning and the end right. K, d. Okay, but this bit in the middle is tricky, and that's why that's a red word. COULD. Worse. So in your spelling test, did you do worse today or better? So you've got that's the tricky bit. Okay. WORSE, worse. Okay, Stephen, I'll give that a go. I will open up paint and put the letter in. Okay, number 6, many. MANY. Okay, now meh you can get, so that's the tricky bit, isn't it? Because you'd usually think that was an E for and then ni. Okay, e, so many. Number 7, above. So it's ABOVE. So it is ab. So you should be able to get those two, ab. And then this is the tricky bit there again, because it's an O when you think it would be an E, not an E, a U, and then above. Okay, tick the letters that you get right. Don't ever cross a whole word out. Wear. Now this is about wearing clothes. The other wear, as in where are you going, so it's usually like a direction, is spelt like that. This wear, as in you wear clothes, is WEAR. And that's really tricky because if you put an H there, it would be here. And you can you hear that they sound differently, don't they? Here, where. They don't even rhyme. So that's why letters represent different sounds often. So you've just got to work out what the wiggly lines on the page, what letter sounds that they make for different words. And that's a red word because of that. Okay, so the W, you should know that this bit here is really hard, especially when the same sound makes that where as well. Okay, 2 more. Number 9, why. Okay, why are you doing spelling? Why are you going out? And you usually put, well, you'd always put, I think, a question mark at the end of a sentence with why or just on its own. Okay, and that's tricky because actually it's the letter we're doing today, which is the letter Y, but it's got this W here, hasn't it? So it sort of makes sense really though, doesn't it? W-I, Y. So W-I. And number 10, very common word, the. Okay, T-H-E. Okay, the. And you often start a sentence with the, so you might want to practice also with a capital. Not always, but often the mouse goes through the hole, etc. Often start with a capital T on that one. Okay, how many did you get, or how many letters did you get? Okay, are you pleased with yourself? Are you improving your spelling? These are all tricky ones, remember, they're red words, so they are ones that you have to memorize. a lot of them, the bits that I've circled particularly. Okay, you can't always use your phonics for these, whereas words like cat and hat, you can use your phonics for, can't you? Because you can go k, at. Okay, but these are slightly different, so that's why we have to remember them. Okay, good. That was our little quiz. Well done, everybody, for that. I hope you did all right. Keep learning them because these aren't just tricky. They're also what we call high frequency words. So they're words that we use all the time in our language. 10 out of 10 for Lucy, 10 out of 10 for Carmela, 10 out of 10 for Ronan, 9 for Isla. Brilliant. 9 for Stephen. You're doing really well, all of you. And these words are all words that you're going to use all your life. Okay, so if you're filling in application forms, if you're writing a letter, if you're emailing, if you're texting, it's really useful. These are the most common words that you will use in the English language. So that's why it's important to know them. Okay, so now we are going to do the letter Y. Okay, so the letter in the alphabet is called a Y, but it's also got the sound Y. Okay, can you say that? Y. All right, and we're going to think of some words beginning with Y. But first, let's have a quick go at writing it. So your capital, remember if this is your whole line, and this is the halfway point in your line, okay, your capital goes right through. So it goes for the whole line, okay? If it's for a lowercase and you're printing, you start on the halfway point and you go down and up and then down again. And then can anybody remember what these are called? Called your descender. Okay, that's a descender. If it's a K or a D, then it has an ascender. That means going up. This is a descender, so it goes down. And your down point reaches the halfway mark of the other line. Okay, if you're joining, you always start on the line and go up, round, and down. And remember, these letters are all very similar. So when we did, we started with the I and cousins, didn't we? So again, it's the same shape. Yeah, it's the same shape. And the L with the ascender, all the same shape. Whereas when we did our C's and our A's, they were sort of much curlier, but the same shape. So these are C and cousins, and these were I and cousins. And we did a J. See, they're all the same shape. That's why I've put these letters together. So to do that now. So we've had a look at the writing. Have a little practice doing your handwriting. Tomorrow I thought I'd show you. I don't know, for some of you will have really neat writing and others might have slightly messy writing. I've got messy writing. So I'm going to show you a way of practicing going in the lines tomorrow. So if you have at home a ruler and a highlighter, that would be really useful because then I can show you about it. So Florrie got all the words right. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, Stephen says the number is wrong on the title. It says 15, not 16. Is it 16 now? Oh, I'm terribly sorry if that's the case. Oops. I'll have a look at that, Stephen. Thank you. I'm glad you're on my case for that. Okay, so we've done that. Now, we also do the sign for Y. Okay, so the British Sign Language. So Y, if you're right-handed, your left hand is your sort of sketch pad, your notepad, and your right hand is your pen. So you make a V with your left hand, and then you put your right hand finger there, your index finger there, and that makes your Y. Okay, I'm trying to get it around. That's it, Y. Okay, so I wanted as well to have a little practice doing that, but also have a practice because Y is what I call a kind of secret vowel sound. So our other vowel sounds, so let me just write this. So a vowel, can anybody remember the letters that make a vowel sound? There's 2 vowels in there and 3 consonants. Okay, so we've got V, owl. Okay, and this is a vowel sound, and this. So you've got A, E, I, O, U. Okay, they're all vowel sounds. Okay, when you're signing, you've got A, E, I, O, U. So that's your British Sign Language. Your vowels all go on this left hand if you're left-handed, right hand if you're, no, if you're right-handed, right hand if you're left-handed. And this is your pen, so you go A, E, I, O, U. Now, the secret vowel sound is the Y. And the reason is because one of the rules, so it's like an extra, like a cousin of the family. And the reason is one of the rules is that you cannot write a word without using vowels. Often you can't do a syllable, but mainly you can't do a word without using a vowel. So, but the exception to that rule is when Y is used as an I sound. Okay, and can you think of those words where Y is used as an I sound? Here's one. Yeah, can you see that? So I, my. Carmela, yes, I can email your home today and we can have a chat. Okay, and then we've also got by. Okay, try. Okay, so all those words with the rule, you can't write a word without a vowel in it. You have to think of Y is the letter I sometimes. Okay, so that's one way of doing Y. Did I write any more there? Well, there's a few more. Die. There'll be more than this as well. But and then remember our Y one. What I. So I, but I, I, I. Okay, so the Y, that's okay, Carmela. The Y, the I sound is a Y in that. Okay, so one way of doing that. So let's leave one up there to remind ourselves. Okay, now let's look at words that begin with Y. And Stephen's already done one. Yank. Very good one. It's got the K from yesterday. Yank. Okay. What about a colour? Can anybody think of a colour? I'm going to start writing it. O. Yellow. Yeah, Isla, we got it together. Yellow. Okay. How about this is, I'm going to draw it first. My famous drawing. It's not a boat. It's, let's give it a second sail. It's a yacht. Okay, and you can see how confusing that spelling is. So you've got the y and the t, but then this bit here is really tricky, isn't it? But yacht. Okay. And U is one. U. Yodel. Yodel. I'm not sure if that's a yodel or not. Yodel. Very good one. Okay. And there's also, what's the Star Trek? Stephen, I expect you to get this one. Yodel. Yodel. Yo-yo. Very good, Carmela. Yo. Okay. And I'm waiting for Stephen to tell me the Star Trek one, which is, oh, in fact, it's a name, so it should have a capital, shouldn't it? Yoda. I would draw a Yoda, but I have no idea how I could draw Yoda. Yeah, so yes and yeah. So we've got yes. And then we've got this that we go, yeah. Okay. Yeah and yes. Or, oh, sorry, you're right. Spell it like that. Okay. So, oh, Yoda's, did I say Star Trek, Stephen? I'm so sorry. Carmela, I'll speak to you later, okay? I can't do it now because I'm doing a lesson. So, wow, yes, Yoda is exactly from Star Wars. So apologies about that. I bet you were thinking of. Were you trying to think of a character for a Star Trek? Sorry about that, Stephen. Okay, so let's remind ourselves. I think we'll put yellow there. Okay, so there's two ways so far of doing. So the Y is an I sound for by. Okay, and then a word beginning with Y is yellow. All right. Now I wanted to look at some words with Y in the middle. Well done, Camilla. Thank you. Y in the middle, and that's quite hard. That took me a while. And these are some weird ones. So let's write them down. So I've got, I wrote down this, abyss. Okay, I went into the abyss. Okay, and that's an I sound when it's in the middle, isn't it? Okay, and then I put royal. Okay, and that's actually Roy. That's an oi sound here. Oh, royal. So that's got a Y in the middle. And they're all slightly different sounds, aren't they? Loyal would be the same for that. And there's another I sound. So that was an I sound there, abyss. So the Y was an I. Here is an oi sound. And what about this one? It's a certain type of bread, or it can even be a town. Used to live in Kent. No, I'll speak to you later, Carmela. Okay, I'll email. Rye. So that's an I sound. Okay. So I. Rye sound. So that Y then is okay. And what about this one? Have you heard of this? It's where our word. I'm hoping I've spelt this right. Papyrus. Yeah. It's from the word paper. Papyrus. So I was reading papyrus then. Papyrus. And the last weird one I wrote for the middle, before we get onto these, because Rona, I noticed you've done that. Okay, it will be, let me have a look. This one, fair. Now, not as in that's not fair. It's an old-fashioned word for a fair. You might have seen it. And then that is, so we've got, and then we've got this weird air, fair. Okay, and that's got a Y in it, and that's an old-fashioned word for a fair. Okay. Okay. Carmela, I will email Mr. Healy, and then you can, he'll contact you in that way through your family, okay? I'll do that straight after. Right. Oh, I've rubbed it out. Okay, let's do that again. So far we've got lots of different ways of doing yeah. So we've got yellow, and we've got by. Okay, and then we also had something like abyss in the middle. Okay, so there's three different ways where the Y sound can be used. There's lots of others as well, but let's have a look at these two. All right, every is a very good one actually. Ronan, ever, and that. Do you remember we always talked about our root words, and then you've got a Y on the end. Okay, which is your suffix. Yeah, so every. So you've got ever. And then every, which is a suffix of the Y sound. Yes, the word by, goodbye. You can have this by, or you can have this by. Well done. That's a good one, Lucy. Okay, right. So let's do these two now. So we've got this one becomes an A sound. So even though it's a Y, with an AY, it becomes an A sound. So you've got st, A, A, play, all a. So all a. Day. And then you can have Monday, Sunday. A. Ah, yes, Dalby has one. Now for Dalby, that becomes an E sound, doesn't it? So we've got Y sound, we've got an I sound, we've got an I sound, another E sound there, and an E sound here, and then an A sound. Now, the last one I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave, I'm going to leave play here, just so we can remember. Okay, look, A, cross all those out. Right, and then let's cross out Dalby. Now, the last one, I'm going to do this word here, but it brings me on to this one, because we've got pray, so pray. So that's when you pray. Okay, but look at this one. You've also got, so they sound the same, but are spelt differently and mean different things. Pray. Okay. Ah, yes, you've joined on, Ronan, you've joined on the oi sound there. Okay, which I have left out because there's so many, aren't there, for Y? We might do some more of those. But look at that. So pray and pray. So that one is like a bird of prey. So when you have prey, like sort of dead meat that birds eat, like carrion or something, then you've got your prey, something that you're chasing to eat and kill. Okay, so you have a bird of prey, like a vulture or a buzzard, is a bird of prey. And that is in Star Trek, Stephen. And then you've got pray as in I pray. And if you put, this is the root word again, if you put an ER on the end, then that then becomes prayer. Okay, and that's your suffix. Okay, and you wouldn't have that for pray. Okay, you could put the suffix praying, I think. So the bird was preying on the mouse or something. Okay, so that's an EY. Can you think of any other EYs? I've got one here, they. So A. Oh, we've gone on a bit today. We'll have to stop because we've got 5 more words to do. I'll just give you a couple here. Obey. Okay. And what have I done there? Pray and hey. You know when you're hey. There's another way of doing this one for words such as money, honey, monkey. So again, it's spelt with an EY, but it sounds different. Delayed pray. Yes, very good. Right. If you can write yourself a quick sentence, and then we'll learn our 5 new words. Okay. Spent a long time today on this, haven't I? We've gone past our usual time. Okay, so I am going to say so you can say your sentence, you can write it, you can draw it. Okay, so I'm going to write, your yellow yacht will be delivered on Monday for your journey. There we go. So you've got your yellow, you can count on my fingers, your yellow yacht will be delivered on Monday for your journey. Okay, I've done 4 there. Has anybody else got any? Okay, right, let's learn our 5 words and then I'll let you go on this lovely sunny day and you can have a rest and a break. Okay, number 1. These are getting hard now because we've done more than, so we've got court, or Okay, so it's tricky because of this bit here. So you've got to remember A-U-G-H, court. Number 2, people. P-E-O-P-L-E. And that's tricky, so that's okay. That's the tricky bit here. And then people. Number 3, brother. So br, and then okay, brother. And that's the tricky bit, like mother, isn't it? Because the O should theoretically sounds like a U. And then we're going to do a bit of a family here. Father. So, and that would be A-R usually, wouldn't it? So this sounds like father. That's why that's tricky. Father. And finally, number 5, bought. So B or notice court is the same, but it's got an A-U-G-H, and this is an O-U-G-H, and then bought. And that's from the word buy. So I bought a jumper yesterday or something. Okay, so you've got to remember those. Way, that's a good one, Florrie. Okay. So court, people, brother, father, bought. I will test you on those tomorrow, plus 5 more tricky high frequency words. So quick consolidation of what we've done. We've done the letter Y, that's the sign. You do a V and a the and a finger there for Y. Okay, this is the letter Y. It's a Y sound, and it can also be part of a vowel. The A-E-I-O-U's. It's an extra one for words like my and buy and try. And then we've got a, tray, and then this E-Y for pray. Okay, there's lots of others. And Ronan has very appropriately put buy, which has got a Y in it. So bye all, and I'll see you tomorrow.